How about elsewhere in the NFC East?
Let's do it.
The other team that made the postseason, the Eagles. Let's go to Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, and Tampa Bay. And this, it's fun to watch playoff football no matter what, but this was never a contest. I hate saying the word. I'm not going to say it was easy, but there wasn't much resistance. There was a giant gap between the Eagles and the Buccaneers the entire game.
This is what worries me about the 7th team in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I know we've this is only the second year. I think we've really only seen the Colts at the 7th seed last year against the Bills has been the only game that's been competitive. Where I'd go, actually, the Colts outplayed the Bills. Josh Allen just made unreal plays for them to win that game.
Right.
But yeah, you take the other 2 versus 7 last year. It was Saints and Bears. It was a trick play by the Bears. It was the only offensive good thing that happened all game long.
Yeah.
And, of course, we got the 2-7 game last night with the Chiefs Steelers.
Yeah.
And this they were in your spot. They were in a different class.
Yes, not even close.
It's a different class of a football team.
Yeah.
And I don't even think they were motivated to play in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
They
were coasting.
I mean, it's not only personnel and coaching.
Yeah.
There was this overwhelming feeling. I was watching this game. Like, one team was like, okay, now the real season starts. Let's get to work, guys. Get out here, and we're going to be the best we've been.
Right.
While the other team was like, the year's been a success already.
Yeah, right.
I mean, look where they were a couple months ago. They weren't supposed to be there, so they made it to the postseason. And that sometimes those things don't show up in the field, those intangibles. But I thought it was just in a fierce way showed up. One team was all business. We got to get to where we're supposed to be in February, and the other was just kind of on bonus time.
It's go time for the Bucs. The Bucs
Totally.
are to me the team that we could sit here and go, they're the only great team in football if they get healthy here. Like,
really?
And they're close. They're close to being healthy. I know they're not going to have AB or Chris Godwin, but damn, they still got, Mike Evans, who's a star, and Gronkowski, and Scotty Miller, and a good stable of running backs. They got enough there to make it all happen. Levante David was back. The secondary is somewhat healthy other than Sean Murphy-Bunting. Shaquille Barrett and JPP were back. They had the injuries on the O-line yesterday, but they came back and played, so hopefully they'll be okay. Wirfs, I'm a little concerned about. But, like, to your point, it jumped out right away. It was a clear and obvious difference in the quality of the football team, the versatility in which they can play with on both sides of the football, and got to a 31-0 lead and just coasted from there. It was like, oh, okay. Really, they could have sipped pina coladas in the 4th quarter and still won the game by the same score there.
First play, I mean, they came off the ball. I think the running back wasn't touched for 10 yards. Like, if that was a spring practice on the other side of the ball, the coach would have stopped it. Like, we don't practice that way.
Well, no, you're right. Well, you're right.
It
was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
from the get-go.
Well, and this, again, but we talked about this on Wednesday a little bit. The Eagles' defense, way too simple. Way too easy for an offense like this.
4-man rushes and easy to decipher 5-man rushes.
Exactly.
In the first half.
And the coverage is basic as can be. Like, oh, it's cover 3. Oh, it's 2-man. Oh, it's Tampa 2.
They did sack Brady a number of times later in the first half.
They did. They got to him a little bit, certainly. And I think Brady also realized, like, listen, I'm not taking any chances here. We got this game in control. I'm not going to just try to squeeze one in for the sake of squeezing it in when we're controlling it. And maybe they tricked him a little bit, and I'll be able to tell you. But it was my concern of the football game throughout. That's why I didn't really think they had a chance. It's just, again, when you break down, and I told everybody this in the room yesterday at NBC. I just said, I just was telling Dungy, and he was amazed by it. I was like, this Eagles defense is 10th in football. But I was like, let's look at the schedule, Coach. And he started looking. I go, look at when they played good, like an offense that was somewhat good and a quarterback.
Keep it going, Chris.
Yeah.
I think we have a graphic, Pete, that we can run on this about the Eagles' top quarterbacks against the Eagles' D.
It's astounding.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, to be the number 10 defense, they could have picked the worst offenses to play in football. They could have handpicked them, and it worked out that way for the last 8 weeks of the year.
Yeah.
It was the worst. But look at these numbers. Now, Brady and Dak Prescott, it's 2 games. Either way. In 2 games, Prescott was 42 for 53 for 533 yards and 8 touchdowns. Now, I know one of them was against third stringers in Week 18.
That's just one, though. But the rest of these weren't.
Brady, 63 of 79, 568, 4 touchdowns and interception.
Wow.
Mahomes, 24 for 30, 278, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. Derek Carr, 31 of 34. For 323, 2 touchdowns and interception. Justin Herbert, 32 of 38.
These guys are 80 to 90%.
It's above 80%.
Yeah.
With those guys. And it's, again, let's see, 12, 17, 19, 21 touchdown passes to 3 interceptions. crazy.
Those are crazy numbers.
That's what was scary about this matchup.
I saw two things. You already brought up one of them.
Yeah.
The lack of exotic pressures up front, rushing 4 or 5 guys.
Yep.
How many times are they going to play soft corner?
Right.
I mean, Brady's out there playing pitch and catch.
Thank you.
Like he's at practice.
That's what I mean. It's
Time
just,
and time
it's
again.
just too much of that, right? You're looking at the stat going, they're 8 yards off Mike Evans. He's just going to look at him and throw a 6-yard hitch route.
It's almost like you got tired of it. It's like you're like, let's try something else.
There was some plays
if we
where
have an incompletion or sack, I'll take the 10-yard out later. Let me try and throw it across the middle a couple times.
That's where, like, again, I understand you want to play us. Hey, we're gonna play defense. We're gonna be sound. We'll hope they make a mistake. There has to be a point in the game where you just go.
There was no urgency.
Right. Like, we're gonna go down then. We're going down. They're going down. We're going down like a burning ship. Let's blow the plan up and do something crazy.
Right.
Who cares if we lose by 25 or lose by 16? Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, at least let's go down like trying to win.
Yeah,
and I never
wasn't
got
the
the
case.
sense that was the case.
If there was a word bubble above the Eagles' defense a lot of the time, I know they had some sacks. They had some moments, but most of the time, it would have been, is it over yet?
Yeah, I hear you.
Is it done?
Right. Is it done? Is he done?
Right?
Right.
Yes.
Yes. I think between that and then, where it was a tough matchup for the Eagles is, of course, they're one of the best running teams in football.
They were the best.
But you're playing the defense that's the Bucs defense, and here's another. They called the bluff of the Eagles. It was bare front, 6 and 7 guys at the line of scrimmage, like just going, throw it. We want you to throw it.
Please.
We dare you to throw it. Go ahead. We're playing bump man to man. And
we've got the Hurts numbers here. Actually, I'm sorry.
There you
jumped
go.
the gun there.
Rushing
We're
first.
looking at the Eagles rushing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, number 1, and then yesterday,
17
wasn't
rushes,
there.
95 yards. That's not going to do it in this football game.
So to your point of, okay, go ahead and throw it. When they did throw it downfield, I mean, the numbers of 20 yards in downfield, 2 out of 12 for 63 yards.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Yeah.
It was ugly. It was too late, too, when they got to the game plan. To me, this was a game after the first few plays, I was sitting there going, they're not going to be able to run it if they just go, we're going to go run it. They got to actually come out maybe doing play action and throw it a little bit to get the Bucs to back off and then go back to the run.
Right.
That rare instance where you go, I think we have to use the pass to set up the run instead of the other way around. I do think it was one of those. There was just so many in your face. We're playing bump man-to-man on Devontae Smith with Carlton Davis, but we got all these people at the line of scrimmage to stop the power run game, and if Jalen Hurts keeps the ball off the edge, we're going to have a guy there, and you're not going to go anywhere.
Right.
They were ready for all of that. And, of course, they're extremely talented, and then with Devin White and Levante David at the second level, they both can fly sideline to sideline. So they're the type of guys that can run with Jalen Hurts and run him down. And then it gets into the question of the Eagles, because we know this Bucs defense is real. They are, and when they're really healthy, they're going to be tough to stop. The other question is, this is where the Eagles they got to figure out what they want to do with Jalen Hurts this offseason and where they want to go with the quarterback situation, because they're limited in their versatility in the ways they can beat you.
Yep.
With a guy like Jalen Hurts at quarterback. He's not really, again, he's not capable of being surgical in a game like this to where you go, wait, we need to win the game. He's got to drop back 35 times.
To win this kind of game.
To win this kind of game, yes.
To me, it's all relative. It's how harsh do you want the evaluation of him to be? Is he good enough for the team to win more than they lose and to get to the playoffs? Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a big step in the right direction.
Right.
Pat on the back. I mean, that's real progress. I mean, who would have thought they were there 4 months ago?
Yes, exactly.
So, I think that should lead the way.
I agree.
Okay, are we going to win once we get to the playoffs?
That's another question.
Against Brady, against Stafford, against Rodgers.
Against good defenses.
Didn't even look close.
No.
So it's all how harsh do you want that evaluation to be?
Yeah, they got to figure that out. Do they want to just go all in on Jalen Hurts, get another good running back or two, maybe get one more receiver or tight end to be a weapon and just go all in on a Lamar Jackson type offense?
Yeah.
They certainly could do that. They could. I mean, there's no doubt. But Jalen Hurts is not as good a thrower as Lamar Jackson is, or a Kyler Murray or a Josh Allen or the other quarterbacks that can really run in football. So that's the aspect. Again, to me, I still question whether Jalen Hurts can beat you by his right arm, with his right arm, in those few games where you go, hey, our run game's not dominating today, and now we need you to make a few plays. That to me is still very much up in debate, and I don't mean to – I know I'm looked at as the Jalen Hurts, hater of the world. But I think, again, yesterday, anybody watching that game – how many replays or throws or times did Troy Aikman go, really, that should be completed in the NFL?
Yeah.
I mean, Troy was trying to be nice.
Right.
Really, I mean, he's open. And you'd like to see that completed in this day and age in the NFL.
Right.
He was trying to tell you shouldn't be missing that throw. I don't know what any other way to say that.
Right.
And that's something that is going to continue to be evaluated with Hurts.
Yeah, I think it's beyond fair. I think it's the most realistic evaluation to be somewhere in this area. We can say it was a good season for him.
Yes.
He's a nice quarterback. He's off to a good start in his career.
Right.
Okay, where can he get better? Well, it leaves a lot to be desired. Consistency down the field. The numbers back it up. The play yesterday backed it up.
Yeah.
I think about 2 plays. There was a third or fourth down, a comeback to the right side, about 15 yards.
Right.
It was late.
Way late,
light.
hung in the air forever.
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about, got knocked down, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There was and Brady was doing it. Now, again, Brady might be the best of all time, but he was doing that. He was throwing it earlier. He was throwing it with a lot more velocity consistently. So
right.
It was hard to compare because it was such a glaring difference.
Right. And it's not a long delivery that Brady has. Brady can get it out.
Exactly.
Hurts' delivery
also
allows defenders to break on the ball because it's very slow and deliberate.
And I remember, I think it was about 2 years ago about now in the spring, we were back there evaluating the quarterbacks coming out, and I think you said about him, his arm looks like an independent contractor.
Yeah, that's my phrase.
And I've been kind of watching it a little bit, and the ball, when it needs to really fire out of there, a lot of times doesn't.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching, and it's like something in the mechanism when it's supposed to really torque in the lower body.
Doesn't happen.
It's just not there.
No, I know.
Doesn't mean that he can't be a really good NFL starting quarterback, but when you look at where he is now to where he needs to be, like that part of it, that moment of firing from the lower body, just it isn't there when he wants it to be.
I agree.
That's what I see.
I think you're right. I mean, to me, he doesn't create opposites like we talk about so many times, where he can get that. He can get that front shoulder turned to the target and almost have the back of his nameplate turned to the target to now where he can unravel and that arm becomes a slingshot like you see Brady or Rodgers or Josh Allen do. Yes, he has a little bit. That's the phrase they use. The arm kind of just does it by itself. It kind of windmills around to throw the football.
It wants some help from the lower body.
Needs it.
In the back half of the release.
It needs it to help for a spiral, to cut through a wind like yesterday, or get to the target a little easier. And I know we got a spray chart, right, Pete? Let's throw that up with Jalen Hurts a little bit too. It's a weird chart there. You can see it's a lot of screens and RPOs, some fades down the left sideline, a post down the middle. But yeah, that's an unusual looking chart there. And I have like friends that I had like friends, and I think even Pete said something to me. I can't remember who it was, but they're going, "What? Why do they always throw the ball down the field? Why don't they find ways to throw the ball 6 and 8 yards at a time?" Because that's not who he is either. Honestly, throwing the ball deeper down the field is easier for Jalen Hurts than being precise with a quick decision 8-yard intermediate throw where not only do you have to be quick decision, you got to have a quick release, and the ball has to be pinpoint in those type of throws. More pinpoint than let me just throw it downfield and let Devontae Smith go get it. That's where people don't realize that. I know you think, oh, it's shorter, so it should be easier. Yeah, to a degree, it's not always the case. So there needs to be more precision and accuracy added to that too, and that's where I think they're reluctant to call those type of plays with him.
And he's so early in his career, and as long as he was going opposite of Brady yesterday, and we talked about Brady throwing that comeback kind of effortlessly, throwing it early and throwing it a lot of velocity. Yeah. You go back to Tom and watch him in his second year. Yeah. He's gotten a lot better at that part of his game in the last 20 years. I don't know at what point it happened, but he changed his stance.
Yeah,
he changed his release.
Yeah.
So as we sit here and point out where Jalen Hurts is 2 years in his career, like, that's not there. Brady didn't have it like he has it now then either. So,
no,
I mean,
you can do it.
Just because he can't do it now doesn't mean he can't take a couple steps toward being really good at that part of his game.
Exactly. I mean, all anybody told me is you can't fix accuracy when Josh Allen was coming out in the draft. You can't fix it.
Yeah.
Bullseyes everywhere. 70 yards down the field, across the river and through the lakes, bullseye.
Right.
Through the woods, bullseye. So you're definitely right about that. And I know it sounds like we're probably being harsh on Jalen Hurts again. I don't mean it to be that. I'm just saying, hey, Eagles fans, that's something I question about going in the offseason.
I think mostly
it was a really good year.
It was a good season.
I know.
And the parts where he's not great right now, look at the best of all time, Brady. He wasn't, I mean, he was probably pretty good at it his second year, but he's gotten a lot better at the release and the velocity.
Your point's real there. So we'll see what he can do. I'm going to be interested to see what he does there. And either way, the Bucs look good. The Bucs are good.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
And if they continue to get healthy, again, I think they're still the most well-rounded team in the NFL.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.